Australia's world-leading Indigenous land management and carbon farming programs are spreading internationally, with a formal agreement signed to help build a similar program in Canada. A chance meeting between Rowan Foley from the Aboriginal Carbon Fund and a Canadian carbon credit businessman at the 2015 Paris Climate Conference spawned a relationship that led to an agreement this week that will help Canadian First Nations peoples learn from the Australian Aboriginal carbon farming success. Sometimes chance meetings are a form of karma or synchronicity at play, Foley says. Foley set up the Aboriginal Carbon Fund in 2010 to help other Indigenous organizations make money by managing land in such a way that it sequesters carbon in the soil. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. Creating a firebreak in Savannah woodland at O'Reiner's Station in Cape York, Queensland. Photograph. Richard Wainwright, Caritas, Australia. If you want to tackle carbon emissions, let Indigenous people control their land. Read more. One of the most successful types of Indigenous carbon farming in Australia has been savanna burning, in which regular small fires are lit, replicating ancient Aboriginal practices and helping to prevent larger fires that release more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The projects are often managed by workers in the Indigenous Ranger program, which a recent government review concluded were enormously effective, increasing employment, building stronger communities and reducing violence, while also increasing income tax and reducing welfare payments. Sustainable Indigenous land management, such as savanna burning, not only reduces carbon emissions but also builds communities by offering meaningful jobs for local traditional owners as rangers and an independent income. Foley says, one project, run by the Karlantijbo North Karawara Nyiramala Aboriginal Corporation, was awarded a contract for carbon credits under the Australian government's Emissions Reduction Fund. By burning the savanna early in the season, it secured payments for sequestering 24,100 tons of carbon, in an auction where the average value for such abatement would have been $257,629. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. An aerial burn on the O'Reiners and Sefton Savanna Burning Project site. Photograph. Richard Wainwright, Caritas, Australia. The Aboriginal Carbon Fund works with similar groups to produce carbon credits that can be bought by corporations as carbon offsets. Now the lessons learned in Australia are set to be taken to Canada, with an agreement between the Aboriginal Carbon Fund and the Canadian First Nations Energy and Mining Council. Coalition promises $30 million for Indigenous rangers and says it will create new jobs. Read more. It feels like the idea is coming of age, Foley says.